But I don't let it get me down.
All right.
And my partner will see my suffering on my face, and I get up and I go. Because God needs me. Because He needs me. My community needs me. 2 years ago, when a doctor told me that I had a clinical diagnosis of AIDS, which means that my viral load, the amount of virus in my body, was in the millions, and my T cell count was well under 100, the doctor said, "You've got to go on medication." And I had already made up my mind. I said no. He wrote the prescription, didn't give it to me. He said, "I'll have it delivered to your house." I'm like, I'm not going to take it. I went home and I said, I am not going to take my medication. I know what it's going to be like. Reverend Neil can attest to it. Reverend Pat can attest to it. I would stand up here and preach and cry from the chemical reaction that the medication was occurring in my life. But my partner said, if you're not going to do it for yourself, and if you're not going to do it for you, do it for your mother. Do it for your community. Do it because God is not finished with you yet. And thank for nothing. And I took the medication. And I would come up here and preach and be just a mess. But my community never let me down.
All right.
You embraced me. You held me in the very palm of your hand.
All right.
And you journeyed with me. As difficult as it was, we journeyed through this together, and we overcame. And we overcame. So, I want to, in closing, just a few more things. We hear often about education teaches us to use condoms. We should be responsible when it comes to physical intimacy. But physical intimacy is not the beginning and the end of all relationships. We are called to grow in spiritual and emotional maturity. Now, if you're challenged by that thought, you spend a day with someone who loves you and who you love back, and tell them absolutely nothing for a day, and see how much grief you get. See how much grief you get. Don't express in words or in thought the love. And that outweighs physical intimacy in any way, shape, or form. Physical intimacy is okay, and I'm all for it. But companionship, understanding, being with the person next to you and knowing what it's like not to have them there outweighs any form of physical intimacy. Because when that person is not there, boy, do we wish expressing that four-letter word, L-O-V-E, in word and in thought, in embrace and in hope. Because we can allow that sense of who we are to embrace all that we are. It's being humble and courageous, and knowing that we are limited in our own capacity as human beings. The first letter of Peter puts it this way: all of you, leaders and followers alike, are to be down to earth with each other. For God has had it with the proud, but takes delight in just plain people. With just plain people. Ordinary, everyday people. And the reality is that we are all seeking fulfilling relationships regardless of our sexual orientation. We are a fully inclusive community, and that I, inclusive, means you. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, heterosexual, intersex. Did I miss anything? Questioning. I means you. How are we going to embrace the I in this community? How are we going to address the issue that doesn't take a break? I want to take this moment to challenge all of us that in addition to commemorating World AIDS Day, we should also commemorate those who are living with HIV, who are living testimonies of hope. Sometime during the year, have a service for those of us who are the true soldiers of this battle, so that we can show the world that we are living testimonies of the Word. I'm going to end with this. 1 Corinthians 12:26. If one member suffers, all suffer together. If one member is honored, all rejoice together. My family and friends, we are called to be living testimonies of hope. I am challenging all of us to stand up, to step up, and to speak up. Because as long as one person is living with HIV or AIDS, then we are all living with HIV or AIDS.
Reverend Alex,
yes.
I live with HIV.
Yes.
I live with HIV.